talk about Daredevil Born Again, episode 4. This beautiful picture. Of course, Punisher has returned. It's kind of interesting. Matt Murdock knew exactly where he was. That was pretty cool. He's just hanging out in his little tiny workstation. I don't even know what to even call that. He's down in the sewers, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, Punisher is back. Wade, how do you feel about that? Jon Bernthal fitting into the MCU.
Dude, Jon Bernthal is slowly becoming one of my favorite actors of all time. A lot of movies he'll just like appear in, and you're like, oh, he's just a cameo. Okay, cool.
So
But
good.
no, he's great. And dude, his talk with Matt was really good for some reason.
It was so good about just like
it was so, I don't know, it was good. It was inspirational, and even though he's like kind of, rough around the edges,
yeah,
that's just his character. But yeah, it was super good.
I think Jacob might be back in, Wade.
We got him.
Jake.
We got him back in.
Jake, we're talking about Punisher. How did you feel about Punisher's? He's back, baby. How'd you feel about that conversation? Punisher and Matt just talking about literally like, hey, get back in the fight, basically. What are you doing? Don't you hear Foggy's voice? Don't you see him? Oh, man.
Yeah, they casually just dropped one of the best scenes in the entire MCU this week. It was so perfectly written between the two of them. And I loved because Punisher he's like, don't talk about pity, don't talk about victim, don't be like that. But then he encourages Matt to be kind of a man in a really cathartic and emotional way. When Matt starts crying, about Foggy, Frank's not calling him a victim or any other mean words that he used anymore. In fact, he's almost encouraging. He's like, accept that, feel that emotion. He's like, that's genuine. That's what I want you to feel. And for the first time, I think Frank is thinking, this guy who's, he's been an asset, he's been a foil, he's been a thorn in my side, but I know he's good, so I trust him. That's what Frank thinks about Matt. For the first time, Matt can understand Frank because of the loss he experienced. And I think it's really good to show their characters now, 9 years later since they've ever shared a scene.
Punisher's not doing too hot. I mean, just
no,
where he looks like he is.
He looks like he's in a bad spot. They're both in bad spots.
Yeah.
And so that was just a really powerful scene about two people who have lost so much and are kind of going about it in different ways. And for the first time, they're pretty close.
Yeah. And that's the first time you see Matt like actually break down about Foggy and all that.
Yeah.
Very important. You can see he's been keeping a lid on it, and Frank is probably the only person he can be really genuine with right now. His girlfriend doesn't know anything. His other someone else who trusts him, Karen, is not around anymore. Even I think his PI knows pretty much everything about him now, but it doesn't seem like they're incredibly close, even though he knows all of his secrets. Frank was the first person I think who could really get close with him. And I loved that Frank said, what about your friend? He wasn't saying Foggy's name, but Frank was the one who eventually said, what about Foggy Nelson? Frank knows exactly who this guy was. And he wasn't using it as he wasn't using it to rub it into Matt and be like, look at you now. Instead, he was being like, man, you got to confront this because I know what it's like to keep it inside. Just a really, really powerful scene.
So good. And obviously, Daredevil's kind of doing some of his own investigation. I thought that's kind of cool. He's like a lawyer doing his own investigation sometimes. It's kind of interesting, He's going to the spot where White Tiger is murdered, kind of looks at the bullet casing. That's kind of how he thinks it's Punisher, I'm assuming, right? Obviously, it's not. They're kind of hinting that the police are kind of using the Punisher's like logo kind of in a wrong way. You know what I mean? Kind of taking what the Punisher has done and saying like, we're going to do that as well. Like kind of take matters into our own hands almost a little bit. So very interesting. We also get a little bit of some lawyer stuff like Matt talking with that guy who stole some caramelled corn. How'd you feel about the lawyer stuff in this episode? Him like kind of talking to this guy.
It was good. I liked that he kind of did his best to get the best option for him. But in the end, like it was just showing that like he was just like beaten by the system his whole life, you know? So it makes you kind of feel like Matt is almost powerless. He's like doesn't have the ability to actually make a real change, you know?
Unless he's Daredevil. Is that the whole
Unless
point
he
of
is
this
Daredevil.
first
That was
few
the point,
episodes?
yeah.
That's kind of what I'm
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't crack the system no matter what. You know what I mean? Same
Yeah.
with this guy.
Right.
We get some Muse reveals. This new villain who's using like blood for art, basically. Like just
When was that?
Dude, yeah, just like murdering people in the subways, like using their blood. Creepy villain. What'd you guys think about his design? I mean, I think he's going to be showing up more so in the later episodes.
That was that. I was like, what is this guy? I didn't
Yeah.
realize what it was. I gotcha.
That's
Okay.
the villain, Wade. Yeah, Muse.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think he's got some beef with Kingpin. I think that one of the paintings was of Kingpin. I think it looked kind of like Kingpin. I don't know though.
I'm sure he's against both of them, which would be interesting if like Kingpin and Daredevil team up against him or something.
Yeah,
I'm thinking something they've done in the
fair.
past has affected him poorly. Maybe. I don't know. Like something that like the fight between Kingpin and Daredevil caused something to happen, some trauma. I have no clue. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But yeah, I think he looks cool. He's super creepy, obviously. I hope they play into that. Kind of like creepy villains sometimes. I mean, am I missing anything else on this episode, guys, that you like?
Yeah,
really
one of the biggest things, Cam.
Yeah.
Can't believe you didn't bring this up. No, I'm just kidding. But it's revealed that Vanessa almost had an affair with this guy named Adam.
That's right.
You know,
no, she did. She
Adam.
did.
Totally
did. I wasn't really sure what they were trying to say. But anyway, and then I was like, okay, either Adam is dead after he met Kingpin or something else. And then
Just
the end of
chained
the
up.
episode, obviously, Kingpin's just eating and talking. He's like, "Isn't that right, Adam?" Just has him like chained up behind bars in the
I knew
subway
they were
somewhere.
playing that up. His knuckles were bloody, you know, in the previous episodes.
Yeah,
What's
they
Kingpin up
certainly-
to here? He's been a little mysterious.
So there you go. There's that reveal. But,
Guys, I'm just blown away. The show is getting better in every episode for me, honestly.
Mhm.
And now, Jacob, you've been saying now we're in kind of new waters because some of this stuff has been previous footage from the old regime of the show. So now we're kind of getting into like, I know the showrunner for The Punisher is actually the one who made this show, Daredevil Born Again. So it's going to get a little crazy, I think, because if you've watched the Punisher show, it's pretty dark, you know. So I don't know, Jake, how you feeling going into these next few episodes?
I'm pretty excited. I was just happy for it to be back, and but now it's surpassing expectations. I'm really happy. I think I said this last week that they added the stuff in the beginning so that we can actually enjoy these episodes without complaining about the fact that it's all messed up. It's just a miracle that it's this good at this point.
Somehow
And
they put it all together. Somehow
they really put it all together.
Yeah.
I had read that John Bernthal had originally
stepped down.
Yeah, or just didn't even accept the offer to come back because he was like, "This is not how Punisher should be written."
Oh dang!
So,
yeah, crazy.
So now it seems like everybody's kind of on the same page, and the product shows that it's worth it.
Awesome, Micah. As a guy, have you seen it at all, Micah? No, but you know,
I got nothing to add.
That's okay. Do you think this show is getting not as good numbers as even like Agatha, Loki? Do you think this show can stand on its own? Do you think it's gonna be able to pull through, make some money somehow? I know Disney Plus is kind of a weird platform to make money, but I don't know. I don't know. I haven't looked at the numbers.
I think it falls into a similar category as the larger MCU conversation of it's hard to get new viewers into a show when they know there's like 3 back seasons they have to catch up on and 2 seasons of The Punisher, and now we're 6 years later, and is this the MCU and not? So, for fans, I think it's definitely exciting. For the average person that's never seen an episode, are they going to turn it on?
Yeah,
a lot of homework.
Probably
a lot
not.
of homework.
Yeah, a lot of homework.
Yeah, so I think that's the challenge with it is the audience everyone that subscribes to Disney Plus, or is it the however many people subset that actually watched it in the first place?
That are willing to watch a TVMA and have seen everything before it and all that. So your demographic keeps shrinking and shrinking.
Exactly. Let's watch this really violent comic book show that you need to watch 3 seasons for. Like there's a lot of boxes you got to check to get to that point, and who also likes the legal aspect and the the superhero aspect, and it's you know, it might not be the biggest audience, but I think we have some fans here. So
There's at least 4 of us here. So
definitely-
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
We're,
There's an
we're a
audience
pretty
there for it.
non-diverse, like-minded group of people. So it's a bunch of us is out there watching it, I think.
Log, do you think Punisher's coming back? He's gonna do some fighting with Matt Murdock.
I really hope so.
That would be electric,
it's definitely
dude.
needed. Yeah,
Oh,
I was
need some-
nervous that that's his only appearance. You
I'm
know?
a little nervous too, but
I don't
we'll
think
see.
so. There's some set photos, but we'll see.
Cam, you always
I always do
naughty.
this, Cam.
Shame.
Classic Cam.
Okay, this one's funny from Daredevil from earlier. Seeing Fisk watch children sing "We Built This City" was probably the highlight of 2025 for me.
Wait, why did it happen twice though? Kind of, right?
Yeah,
same song.
that was just like I think his frustration. Like he walks in and it's another dumb.
Yeah,
and
I
they're
think
singing the song again.
I think they were just kind of doing that for laughs too. Like, oh my gosh, like Fisk is so tired of this. I loved with the kids. He was like, "How wonderful the sound of youth," and they were like, "Okay, next song," and he was like,
He's like,
"No,
"No."
I'm leaving." Nope.
Yeah, I think that's it for comments. So.
Awesome, guys. Well, all right, guys. Any final thoughts on Daredevil? We're gonna move on. Any final thoughts? 10 out of 10 for me. The best episode yet, maybe. I don't know. Loved it.